Okay, guys, I'm going to begin our training now on synergy. There are some things only an LPN can do, such as injections, skin treatments, trach care, tube feedings, and things of that nature. But picture a world where there's no red in PCC. And picture a world where resident trust is completed, residents are happy about it, roads of focus is done, stars are given, and then points are given, their shopping is done, um, reports filled out, the worlds of focus report is filled out, turned into medical records. Uh, we got the same staff working the same unit all the time. We got our rooms cleaned up, closets clean, dressers clean, cubicle curtains clean and put up, beds made. We have floors cleaned, trash emptied, names on doors, bathrooms cleaned. We're checking to make sure everything works in the room. Call lights, the lights on the ceiling, the lights over the sink. We're checking for safety outlets, making sure nobody's fooling around with the safety outlets. And we're also doing the environmental rounds. We're making sure nothing is dangerous in the room. We're making sure the window checks are done and things of that nature. Fraps on each door is checked, red and black dots checked. We got paper towels, toilet paper, body soap. We got a container to put the toothbrushes in, all of the ADL products. We got clean rags, clean towels, and we made sure the water was passed. Okay? But in Synergy, what we realized that we can make all of this happen and help the nurse because there's a whole lot that we can do to help. And so with Synergy, what we do, we basically enlist our department heads as co-captains. The first thing you got to understand, we will have a policy on the aides assignments. Rooms should always be assigned. Staff should know who they are responsible for. If there is an elopement, we should know who to go to. If there is a death, we should know who to go to. If there is an altercation, we should know who to go to. We should have a checklist that shows everything is done at the end of the shift. That checklist is so important because that also educates them on what they ought to be doing all day. And at the end of the shift, that's the final check. A checkoff list at the beginning of the shift, which explains to each staff member what should be in place before they start. Clear down to scrubs, the right kind of shoes, name tag, and also making sure that you have a gait belt if you work in the medical unit. See, before you start Synergy, you're going to divide your building up. The ideal plan is 5 rooms per co-captain, 10 residents per co-captain. Before you start, make sure you explain the whole complete program to the residents. And remember, this is their home. We don't just want to go into residents' rooms and begin to, make up beds and without explaining to them. We got to explain to them about the worlds of focus, about the stars, and about the points, about everything. Morning Synergy meeting should only take 10 minutes. That meeting should take place from 7:50 a.m. to 8 a.m. In that meeting, you will discuss 2 things. You will review your rounds that you just did in your building, and you will review residents' behaviors from the day before and what happened last night. You will also explain what happened yesterday and what you're going to do today to keep those behaviors from yesterday repeating themselves today, or the issues that happened yesterday with the residents from happening today. I want you to notice these envelopes because in Synergy, we take care of the resident trust. Remember, each co-captain has 10 residents. And so they would have, 1 to 10 envelopes to hand out every day. Here is the paper they fill out. This shows their name, how much they got in their account. It shows how much they're requesting. So this paper would be filled out at the same time you're given the envelopes. Okay? There are some things that we can do, such as weights, wounds. If the resident is oriented ×3, ×4, if he knows his pain level. Vital signs, if you are a CNA. If you're not a CNA, you have to get a CNA to get the vital signs. Vital signs are usually taken either once with COVID, once a day. Without COVID, once a week or once a month. Teach residents how to cut their own fingernails and toenails if they do not have diabetes. And assist. If they do have diabetes, we will let the nurse play that role. Also check and make sure all residents' adaptive equipment is there, such as glasses, hearing aids, dentures, walkers, wheelchairs, things of that nature. If the resident is not wearing them, not using them, we should be made aware. Our team can also do COVID assessments. We can also do COVID tests. We can also do your concerns twice a week at a minimum. We can be responsible for the resident changing clothes. So, when we're working, we need to know, did the resident change clothes? Who does laundry today? Who gets a shower today? I always meet with the co-captain and let him know always meet with your co-captain and let him know what you're doing. I always make sure the residents understand what we're doing. Please don't take no pictures of residents while they're laying in bed. Pictures of residents should be taken when they're standing up, holding their paper in front of them that shows how many stars they got for that day. Remember, the resident will have 5 goals. 4 of those goals will be simple goals like no behaviors, and you must be socially acceptable on the unit and on the hangout, to take showers and to clean up your room. And then they will have a personal goal. If they have a problem with stealing, verbal aggression, physical aggression, whatever their most dominant issue is, we will also include that as a goal so they can work on that. They got 5 goals. Out of those 5 goals, they'll get 5 stars. Each star is worth 3 points, and they can spend those 15 points at the store. Take pictures of the room. Make sure you got the closet, cubicle curtains, bathroom sink area, air conditioner and heating unit area, beds made. Show pictures of the red and black dot if they got one. Show us the fraps on the door. Pictures of the resident standing in the hallway showing how many stars he got that day. Okay? Now, so before you leave the unit and before you leave the residents' rooms, there are 7 things you should have done. Number 1, make sure the room is clean. You will start out doing it yourself, but I promise you, as your residents see you do it, and they see how much better the room looks, as you know, you always feel better when your house is clean. Okay, number 2, hand out resident trust and have the residents sign the receipts. Turn it in to the business office as soon as you leave the unit. Okay, number 3, do your words of focus. Make sure your words of focus is done and discuss with the resident how you feel about his goals and let the resident know how many stars they are getting for that day. And remember, with each star, that enables them to warp one day. So let me give you an example. A high behavior resident would be on 1825. That's almost 5 years to get off of safety and security. But with the Worlds of Focus 5 goes, they get 5 stars. They can warp 5 days every day. So they can turn 1,825 days into 365 days and be off of safety and security in 1 year. They could also get 900 days. Warping 5 days each day, they would only do 180 days, 6 months. And you will also see 450 days. If they warp 5 days every day, that's 90 days before they go to relationship and boundaries. So as you see, the Worlds of Focus has teeth in it, because every day the resident does well, they actually warp days. Okay? So number 3, Worlds of Focus is done. Discuss with the residents how you feel. Also take pictures of the resident holding the paper with the number of stars written on the paper. Number 4, allow the resident to fill out the paper for what he wants from the store and go get it. And also let the hangout know if he brought any cigarettes for that day. Fill out star report and turn in to medical records so it can be filed. Number 6, take pictures of resident's room. The resident's room includes resident's bathroom, pictures of the resident's bedroom, closet, sink area, dresser drawers, cubicle curtains, heating and cooling units, names on the door plate, black dots and red dots. Also pictures of residents holding papers showing how many points he has. Okay? Now guys, the one thing about Synergy is this. Synergy is an awesome program. So what I did is I wanted to show you all the different places Synergy's working. Here, this is a business office and maybe activities or social service assignment, but the co-captains are doing it. Same here. That's why I put Synergy behind it. Because in Synergy, it isn't one person in a silo, it's everybody working as one. And ultimately, the team can do more than one individual. Here again, here are some things that we can do. We're doing CNA work. We're doing housekeeping work. We're doing social service work. We're doing nursing work here. Look at this, Synergy. Look at that. We're doing social service work here. Complaints, concerns. Here, we're doing Synergy. Did the resident change clothes today? We're doing, again, CNA work. We're also doing laundry, because who does laundry today? Remember, on every unit, we want washer and dryers, because we want to teach the residents to be able to do as much stuff on their own as possible. Here again, take pictures of the rooms, cubicle curtains. Remember, we're helping maintenance out because we're cleaning out heating units. We are painting door frames. We're painting walls. So we are actually Synergy even with maintenance. Pictures of residents standing in the hallway showing how many stars they got that day. Again, instead of having just one Worlds of Focus person, everybody is working together as a team. We can always get more done as a team than we can as an individual. The one thing I will say, when given the points, remember, we're not putting them on for a real long time. And because of that, we do have to be careful that we're just not giving them points for no reason at all. If you have to clean up their room, they don't get no points for their room. If they don't take their shower, they won't get any points. If they take their shower and don't change their clothes, they wouldn't get any points. Okay? If they have verbal aggression or physical aggression that day, they wouldn't get no points, and we would talk to them. Remember, if we're not given points, you have to explain to them why. Treat them like people. Okay? So if they don't get their points, you have to explain to the resident why. And we don't want to be sarcastic about it. We don't want to be mean about it, because we really want this resident to be successful. Okay, guys, this concludes my in-service for today. I hope this helps. God bless.